may be crazy. It's pretty long. I don't think I've ever hugged a tree before in my life. I wouldn't consider myself a tree hugger. So don't tell anybody you saw that. Maybe. What did we just found here, boys?
There is a carve-out for Canadian energy products, which will face a 10% tariff rate. Trump set the February 1st deadline to press for
hey, how's it going, man? Just out here doing YouTube video with carcass.
And precursor chemicals into the U.S.
Out here on the track.
China via Mexico and Canada,
Yet to be
as well as to stop
clinically
illegal immigrants
diagnosed.
crossing U.S. borders. A model gauging the economic impact of Trump's tariff plan from EY chief economist Greg Dacko suggests it would reduce U.S. growth by 1.5 percentage points this year and throw Canada and Mexico into recession. Dacko said the tariffs could usher in stagflation in the U.S. and trigger financial market volatility. Trump acknowledged that higher costs could be passed on to consumers and that his actions may cause short-term disruptions, but said he was not concerned about their impact on financial markets. The tariffs are expected to hit everything from avocados to electronics. Automakers would be particularly hard hit through tariffs on vehicles assembled in Canada and Mexico. Their vast regional supply chain, where components can cross borders several times before final assembly, would further exacerbate these costs. Canada has drawn up detailed targets for immediate retaliation, including duties on Florida orange juice, a source familiar with the plan said. While Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has also threatened retaliation. She said she would wait with a cool head for Trump's decision and was prepared to continue a border dialogue with him. China has been more circumspect, but vowed to defend its trade interests.
Israeli-American Keith Siegel is released by Hamas at Gaza's seaport on Saturday. Russia launched a barrage of drones and missiles on Ukraine in the early hours of Saturday, damaging dozens of residential buildings across the country, Ukrainian officials said. The Interior Ministry said a Russian missile struck a residential building in the central city of Poltava. Several people died and more than a dozen were injured, including children. Firefighters and dozens of rescuers searched the rubble for survivors. Authorities said apartment buildings, a kindergarten and energy infrastructure in the city were damaged. On Friday, Russia launched missiles at Ukraine's Black Sea port of Odessa, seriously damaging historic buildings and injuring several people, local officials said. As the war approaches its 3-year mark this month, both sides are using drones to hit infrastructure and disrupt military supply lines. Russian forces are making small but steady gains in eastern Ukraine, edging closer to the strategic logistic hub of Pokrovsk.
From Fox News at 4:06 a.m. today.
Canadian retaliation. I'm Chris DeMeo, Fox News. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is fighting back against President Trump's order of 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods and 10% tariffs on Chinese imports. Trudeau is urging his country not to buy American.
It might mean checking the labels at the supermarket and picking Canadian-made products. It might mean opting for Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon, foregoing Florida orange juice altogether. It might mean changing your summer vacation plans to stay here in Canada.
The Canadian economists say that the tariffs could plunge the country into a recession. Mexico's president immediately ordered retaliatory tariffs. China is responding. Well, the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas continues to hold as the two exchange Palestinian prisoners and Israeli hostages.
3 more Israeli hostages, including an American, are reunited with their families after more than a year in Hamas captivity. The release is part of a phased ceasefire. It calls for the release of 33 Israeli hostages and 2,000 Palestinian prisoners over 6 weeks. The Rafah border crossing with Egypt has also been reopened, allowing thousands of Gazans to get much-needed medical care.
Fox's Chanley Painter. Meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is on his way to the U.S. to sit down with President Trump at the White House this week.
The fact that this would be President Trump's first meeting with a foreign leader since his inauguration is telling.
Wow,
I think it's a testimony to the strength of the Israeli-American alliance. It's also a testimony to the strength of our personal friendship.
$43.
Netanyahu's office says that they'll discuss the situation in Gaza, hostages held by Hamas, and the confrontation with Iran and its regional allies.
Yeah.
We just got done cooking a bunch of food on the back of this thing.
Oh, serious? Cool.
When summer hit, we take all this stuff down, and these bars turn into a kayak rack, and we can load kayaks and stuff on them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking that was. I didn't have any idea that it was like...
I just built this year.
Oh, you built it?
That's our chicken shack. We rent kayaks out of there, but on the front of it, we got a little building we cook food in.
Okay.
I just put this together this year, and we just cook it for the first time.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kevin.
Cool, man. Andy.
Andy, nice to meet you. Yeah, I live right out the road, and I started a YouTube channel first of this year.
Cool.
And I was working the hurricane debris cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
I started working it like in October, and just 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week outside.
Yeah.
And I kind of quit doing that maybe 2-3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
I work from home remotely still, but being outside that much that often, I kind of want to still get back out.
Good for you.
It is. It's really, it's good for you. Yeah. Fucking ironic. I went down to the Rapids Pavilion the other day and noticed they got the Canal Towpath closed.
Yeah. Nice.
And the kayak rental shop down there's got the sign saying to come out here, right?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't know if they had reopened the kayak portion yet. I've heard they had to get a contractor in there to pull trees out of it.
Like, what's dangerous about that's what I'd read in the news, that Richmond County had like a $10 million project they were going to do to restabilize the canal. They were going to drain the canal.
Why did you block this off?
And they weren't going to open the canal towpath until June. So I went down there to see, like, what are they doing,
Yeah.
And I couldn't see anything being done on that side, from the pavilion down as far as you can see. But I don't know if they've got something else going on downstream or whatnot. It just it upsets me because they redid the interstate highway over top of that canal path, but they kept the path open for that. And now I can't use the path because there's a tree laying in the canal.
That's the thing, man. I don't know if you've ever been to Stallings Island, so me and 15 other people went there. I asked the guy from Columbia County, I was like, is it cool if we go down there and just do this? And he was like, yeah, go for it. I mean, that's Columbia County, so it's a little different. But we went down there and cleaned that hole up. And it took us like probably 3 hours, and we got a ton of stuff out. And now you can get back there. It's like, I don't know why a group of volunteers, over the course of a couple weeks, weekends, whatever, couldn't just go down there and do that. But Richmond County just plays things totally different.
Yeah, and I don't even have a problem with them doing it. I'm saying, I'm thinking that they're going to do this project, $10 million. They're probably going to get FEMA to pay or contribute a good portion of it. Maybe it's something they wanted to get done for a long time. But at the same time, it's like, don't hold the canal trail hostage. They should open it up, because they're talking about maybe reopening it in June.
No, it's not cool.
That's too long, man.
That really hurts that kayak rental business. And because they also have the bike rentals right there. So that's just like,
they're still doing bike rentals, I think, but there ain't nowhere to ride them, really.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, dude. I'm fortunate nothing fell on my building down there.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous. I came out here as soon as I could get out of my neighborhood to see if anything had happened. There wasn't but a few trees on this side that fell, and we went out with chainsaws and cut the actual river path out with john boats and stuff. And I mean, I even volunteered. I called the Canal Authority, and I was like, we'll take some john boats and go do. And he was like, I can't, we don't have any authority of it. They've already decided what they're gonna do, and blah blah blah. It's like, that sucks. I mean, if it was my business down there, I would 100% get in the water and make something safe enough to do it.
Yeah.
That's just me.
They had a sign and I thought it was the same business that is run out here, but that's a separate business down there.
Yeah, they're really cool people. They were the first ones to do rentals in the area.
Shuttles available from Endpoint. That's what I need.
bike rental sales service up the hill. What are we gonna bike on?
So yeah, they've been running that for a while.
Yeah.
The people that originally started Escape Outdoors had the contract first, and then I think it was kind of a hassle. Maybe they didn't want to deal with the transportation issues that were happening. So
Right.
I think Steven and their whole family jumped on that and made that happen. Yeah, that's cool, man. We take people with this up to the dam, and they come down here, or they just do the loop out here.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a kayak at the house, and I used to do the Betty's Branch loop occasionally.
Yeah.
I'd take my kids out there. Like, I thought my kids would be more into it than they are. So I had 3 kayaks at one time. But
Daddy, I want
I'd bring
to
my
work
kids,
with
and they
you.
get tired halfway through,
Okay.
like in their own
Tell the
kayak and
people.
stuff, you know.
How old are they?
Tell them.
They're all different ages.
So you
now.
want to work
My
with
youngest
Daddy
is
on the
9 months,
internet?
My oldest is 19.
And what are we working on today?
And I got 3 in
We're
between
working
those.
on the Vulture.
Yes.
I got a 5-year-old and a 19-year-old.
Group of
too, so
vultures?
I know that gap.
Called
there.
Yeah.
It is crazy. I think
Lake of
they start to appreciate it more when
A
they
bunch
have
of
their own
vultures
freedom to
perked.
go out with their friends and do
Called a committee.
Yeah.
things. But
And that's one good thing about
And a
hurricane
group of
hurricane
vultures
debris
fly.
job is
It's called
after
a
the hurricane
kettle.
hit, I said I'm gonna go out there and work, try to help my son get a job, so I helped him get a job.
But I didn't know it
He's out there
until
working the hurricane
today,
debris.
again, when I
got
read
him
it.
a new car.
Yeah, it's
so
very
he
interesting. Isn't
Got
it?
a foothold to get
And
established.
so we're working on
'cause
writing
finding a
another
job right
article
now,
here.
man, it's ridiculous. It's
yeah,
like,
As the
there's a lot
Vulture.
of work, but you
Yeah,
gotta
it's
know what
going
you're
pretty
doing
well.
or have it in with it.
yeah.
As far as like cleanups and chainsaws and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I went down to Tampa and did some relief stuff for Milton. My wife, she's gonna pick me up. Hey man, what's your name again?
Kevin.
Kevin, cool. Nice to
Yeah,
meet you, brother.
nice to talk to you, man. How's it going?
That's a big tree. It's a big tree here. Probably hundreds of years old. How did this tree make it? All these other trees over here. The wind's so strong it snapped them off halfway up. Oh, God. He lost a branch. He lost a damn limb. There's another big pine right there. Big pine. Still standing. I think that's kind of deceptive. There's 3 pines altogether. And one little one. There's 2 big ones right there. There's still some big ones. It's survived. And this oak right here, growing right on the river. Right on the backwaters of the river. It's not the Savannah. This is kind of a little eddy bay off the edge of it. But you can see the trees that are decimated all around it. Like these over here, they're just laying down. Looks like a dump site back in here. But that's just the trees as they fell and the lay of the land. Why? But this one here, man, they really gated that thing up. It didn't fall. And this tree has been here for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. They can tell that by the size of it, the diameter. I don't know if you can get a good scale of like how big this tree is. It looks small to me looking at it in the camera. It's a bad representation because see, like you put the camera up close. Let me see if I can set the camera down. Here on it broke down limb. I'm about sure it's gonna fall over, but ironic. Oh, he's lost. Looking up the tree at me. But this thing, I can barely get my arms around it. Look at this thing. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I can't get my arms around it though. I don't think I've ever hugged a tree before in my life. And I wouldn't consider myself a tree hugger. So don't tell anybody you saw that. Pretty interesting tree though. Probably a river oak. I think that's what they call them. Let's see. Well, yeah, that limb broke off right there. There's its network. I don't know if that come up out of its roots or if that was an acorn that laid down. It's hard to say. old hook or something. Off the train, I don't know. Track. Piece of the track, I don't know. I'm dehydrated today, boys. Dehydrated. Didn't drink any water last night. I don't think I'd drink any water today. I drank half a bottle of that bourbon I bought. It's pretty good. I think that's why I haven't bought that one in quite a while. Woodford Reserve.
Between the rye
I really like drinking it.
and the regular bourbon. Since I've just been drinking bourbon, I think I'm gonna try this one.
2 nights in a row, I've been thinking about Tom Waits.
I've been thinking about. That's what I got last time.
And AI reminded me of him on that first night. We were trying to describe a voice, and AI said a voice that sounds like leathery boots or something like that. And it's just those words, that description, it made me think of Tom Waits. And then last night I was on Substack waiting for, I was gonna edit last night, but I had to make room on my hard drive, on my other internal hard drive. So I was copying files over, hundreds of gigs of files.
City Limits Archive from 1978, Tom Waits.
And I underestimated how much time that was going to take. So I got caught up in this file transfer conundrum where I'm waiting, can't really access the file, work with files on the drive if I'm transferring 500 gigs of files to the drive. So I got on Substack and kind of went on a damn drunk binge, I guess. Just commenting on everybody's notes and posts and just reacting, you know. But I saw somebody posted something about Tom Waits or something that reminded me of Tom Waits, and I looked him up on YouTube and started watching some of his videos. He's got videos going way back. Like, I think I watched one last night that was like filmed in '78 at like some damn New Orleans dive bar or something. And I'm sitting there drinking, and I'm looking over there at this video playing on my television, which is like, it's in my view range. Tom Waits was drunk as a damn skunk up there on stage when he started the damn performance. I mean, this man, if it'd been me in that state that he looked like he was in, I think I would have laid down, like right up there on stage. Would have laid down. But he didn't. He stayed up there. You could tell he was like physically uncomfortable. You know how you get when you're drunk and you don't know what to do with your hands. You don't know what to do with your arms and stuff, you know? When you're drunk, when you're really drunk, you just put them up over your head. You throwing your hands around. Like, he was that way. at the beginning of this hour-long set. So it's no wonder he sounds the way he does, if that's the way he is when he records the majority of his music or songs, you know. But he can play an instrument too. He can really play the guitar, and I don't know what all he plays, but I like listening to him. But I don't really like walking on this damn thing. It makes me feel weird after looking down for so long. I don't know. A trestle. That's what they call it. There's an old one out there where one used to be. And there's another one up there. And I'm still on the damn elevated platform. If a train was to come, I really ain't got nowhere to go here. Unless I got like right out on the edge of this son of a bitch here. So I don't like the way that makes me feel here. And trains still do come down through here. For some reason I didn't think this was built up as high as it was. I don't know what I'm thinking. But Tom Waits, I really like some of his songs that I can understand what he's saying. Some of his songs, I have no idea what he's saying. Absolutely no idea. That one, I think I posted it on Substack last night. The one I used to like, it was God's Away on Business. And he's going on about like there's a leak in the boiler room.
There's a leak in the boiler room. The boiler.
He's real animated too in that video, like he's putting on a performance. That's the interesting thing about him. It's almost like what he was doing down there in that club with spoken word. Like, that's how his set started out. And it was really, I couldn't even tell what he was saying, to tell you the truth. I couldn't tell what he was saying, but it didn't really matter, did it? What the hell was that? What have we just found here, boys? We've found the remains of a carcass out here on the tracks. I'm intrigued. I wish I knew where the head was. Somebody's done toted off the head. I don't think there's much to put in my... Yeah, he's been out there for a while, boy. I don't know what that was. He's got some claws though, so it must have been a cat or a freaking hyena or some type. I don't know, some long legs, man. Thing is kind of scary. Huh. I think maybe its head was over there somewhere. Did I miss it? So that's so much. What the hell is that? That's something else entirely there. Look, looks like a damn possum or something. You see this little damn legs there? It's a damn possum. That ain't even associated with that other corpse that was over there. What the hell is going on out here? Can't get shit just up here. Don't have anywhere to go when the train comes.
Taking up the tape, the shopping and the paint. It's a job. It's a job.
You think that big thing was there eating a damn possum when the train comes? I can't imagine that something wouldn't run from a damn train, but it may not want to go back across that damn trestle over there on the other side either. And then over here is another trestle. It may not want to go back over there. Oh, somebody's building a damn new house out here or something. Somebody with some money. Because it's right up on the river. Man, it's getting hot. I'm sweating again. Man, they've really improved these tracks since the last time I was out here. They didn't put up this concrete wall, filled the whole thing with gravel. And it's a pretty nice trestle here across the Savannah. So I'm not going to walk all the way across that one today, boys. One, because of the time that it is, and two, it's pretty long walk across the river. Somebody's building a house over there, a real nice house. 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. They're all down this river here. Real pretty homes. Nice, bunch of glass in that one. Look at that. Boat docks. That's good. I'm glad people are doing well. I'm glad people got the money and time to do that. And the inclination. You have to build right on the river. Not worried about it rising. World will take care of itself. Grateful. Gratitude. Just glad to be out here. Glad to be a part of it. Glad to live so close to the river. I am. I could be here in just a few minutes. And I think I'm going to try to get out here more. Just outside in general. Out to the river, out to the lake, out to the woods, out to the forest, to the trails. Just get out. Just get out of the house. No edge over here. I don't like going right up to the edge. Especially with the pack on. I feel much worse with the pack on. And then holding the camera too. I just don't like it. I don't like the edge. In art, I like the edge. I like not knowing where the edge is. And that's the thing, they keep trying to bring the edges in on art. They keep trying to bring the edges in. Censorship. Can't say this, can't do that, can't use this symbol, can't use that symbol, can't use this reference, can't use this phrase, can't.
culturally inappropriate, you know. Hell, I try to use them Google search, the damn search engine that we all use. I tried to use that son of a bitch yesterday to search how to spell the damn word voyeur. And they don't even want to spell check it, that word for you. It's such a naughty word. They don't want to help you spell it. That's good. Just test the durability of the drone out here. Can't see my phone. Set it up for being inside, I guess. So that's technology is frustrating. Technology is frustrating as hell. I want you to make you feel like you need it. You need to get this to be competitive. You know, if everybody else is doing drone shots, you need to do drone shots. And you buy the drone, and then the damn drone doesn't work when you need it. It won't come alive. The battery looks like it's good, but it won't light up, so I don't know if it took a shot or it's in my backpack. I mean, it's in that padded case. Or maybe it's something else, I don't know. Maybe I need to update it or something. But it wouldn't even try to come on. That's what worries me about it. The little propeller blades are supposed to twitch or move. It wasn't doing that. There's our corpse again. I don't know. Oh, what these things here do. When I was a kid, I'd take those home. Those railroad spikes. I saw another one around here earlier when I was looking at this corpse. I don't know where I put it. But let's go before the train comes. And I ain't got nowhere to go. Because this is a weird feeling being out here on this. Kind of feel like before, like it sloped or something, but I don't guess it was ever, because it's so high up. And I'm just probably thinking back about that first part where we walked earlier. You can see how it laid all these trees down right here. It laid a good many of them down. Looks like somebody done took the head of that thing that was killed back there, and I wonder if it was a bobcat, just since it had claws on it, but its legs almost looked like too long to be a bobcat, like maybe it was a coyote or something. I don't know. There's something moving around down there in the woods. I couldn't tell if it was a person or If it was an animal, I couldn't see a person down there. They probably think I'm crazy talking to myself up here. I may be crazy. Maybe yet to be clinically diagnosed. But so it feels weird walking up here. It just feels weird. Like, I know these things are pretty tight together, but you just feel like you could slip, like you could twist your ankle, break a leg, or one of them could let go is what you think. Like, you just feel weird walking across it. And then you get up here and it's even weirder, because now they got all these down rails everywhere, and you feel like if you trip you could go off of one side or the other. And oh, see there, damn, oh, right at the edge, son. I used to walk across those in Virginia when I was a kid, hundreds of feet up, and the damn boards was farther apart than that. But now that I'm older, I wouldn't walk across one of those again. I don't even know if those are still standing. Damn, that's pretty cool coloration out here. It's a pretty cool spot. Why they got so many nails up here in the concrete? Form up. Somebody brought some trash bins out here. That's cool. Appreciate it. Man, it's thick paint too. Look at that. Somebody put some damn paint on here. How they done that underside too? What is all of this?
When I was a kid, my dad had a 1957 station wagon. It was a Chevrolet. And man, did I love that car. And I used to go into the garage at night, turn out all the lights and rub up against it. I think that's against the law. But I remember driving all the way across the country.
Battery is getting low here.
When I was a kid in the back,
my battery is getting low. Where's my kitty friend? Look at that kitty friend there.
So this is a story about a young girl in a small little town place called Marysville.
What's that guy like?
Jump around Yuba City,
guy.
Gridley, Chico, we're all the same. The names are different. It takes about 23 miles.
The main guy. Soy Jack.
Freeze, just like they had in the one that you were trying to get out of.
We're losing the sun now.
And you see, there was this licorice tattoo.
So I didn't even notice that going around. I guess I did a little bit. No, I didn't notice nothing. I didn't see anything down there when I walked across it the first time. But I feel better now about the train. If the train comes, I'm safe now. I can get over here on the edge. Sit down. There's a damn washer there. A bolt or something. I think I may have to take that one home. Just a souvenir. Of the adventure. Oh, that's a big piece of wood. I saved junk. I would have saved the head off that corpse had someone else not already have taken it, or if it hadn't got crushed, or whatever happened to the head. I used to do that when I was younger. When I grew up in Virginia, I was always outside in the mountains, hiking, traipsing around. You just carried a rifle with me, hunting, or even when it wasn't hunting season, I was always in the woods, biking, you know, exploring, building trails, cutting paths, just something to get out of the house. Have some room, have some freedom, have some personal space, because when you're a kid at the house, you ain't got no space. You know, you're in your room. That's the only space you got. And then when you get older and you get a family, your space runs out. You don't have any space anymore, not even in your room. You don't have any space. You think, you know, I got this house, I got 2,500 square foot, and the garage and the yard outside, I ain't got no space. There ain't no space in that house. Not real space. Not until everybody goes to sleep. Not until I'm alone. That's the, I'm an only child. Maybe that explains a lot. Maybe that explains why I am the way that I am. I don't have any brothers and sisters. But I didn't want my children to go through that, so I've got 5 children. Now, I don't know if there's anything wrong with being an only child or not, but I just think it makes things more difficult for you, because you don't have that young abrasion. You know, you don't have that struggle for what's yours and what's mine, and just those initial interactions that I think brothers and sisters get, you know, from the time they're young. I don't know. I think it builds you different. So I'm 46 now and I'm just leaving art school. There's my tree. Seen a lot of storms. But I don't know if it'd ever seen one like Helene. I don't know if it'd seen one like Helene. I don't believe it had. I don't want to put that in my pack and get my pack full of dirt. I could probably put it in the zipper pouch over here. And then, that ain't no big deal. But I collect stuff. I collect junk. Have collected junk for a long time. My wife hates it. Hates it. If I had a bigger place, if I had more property, I'd collect more junk. Bigger junk. Big machinery junk is what I would collect, I think. Freaking cars, trucks, cranes, anything. If I could afford it, and if it was a good deal, I would probably get it and work on it. And then if I couldn't get it to work, I don't know, it would just sit there. Yeah, there was a lot of places like that in Virginia where you drive by somebody's house and then freaking 10 or 15 old cars in different states of repair or disrepair sitting in the yard. Some of them's rotted into the ground, you know, some of them's old cars back. The first cars, just shells, just mostly rust held together. And I like that stuff. I mean, I like to see it. If it wasn't mine, I'd want to photograph it. I'd want to make it last. You know, even if it was just an image. Boat. I'm thinking tomorrow I might go over to the Fats trails over in South Carolina, across the river. Across that river we were just out today, rubbing up against it. The path was blocked today because I'm running out of daylight and I didn't want to walk across. I didn't want to walk across that. I didn't want to walk across the river. Okay. Didn't want to walk across the river today. So we'll drive across it tomorrow. If I'm not too sore, I'm pretty sore right now. From the past 3 or 4 days of walking. And I brought these Terex shoes today, the Adidas. and they are uncomfortable when you first put them on. It's something about the way they fit me on my ankles. I got bony ankles, I guess. And when I put them on, even with thick socks, socks come up to here, they're uncomfortable when I first put them on. But then once you get to walking in them and everything settles in, you don't really notice it that much. And I'm glad I wore these today instead of those Ultras, walking on these rocks, because these walk on the rocks pretty good. And I wasn't even thinking about that when I didn't bring the Ultras. I was thinking, like, I don't want to get the Ultras too muddy right yet. And I thought I might get in the mud. I wasn't even thinking about the rocks. But I should have been thinking about the rocks, because that's pretty much all I walked on today. The majority of that trip anyway. And even though I wouldn't rate these high for comfort, they're pretty good to walk in. They got a unique soul to them. See how that thing is sloped? The camera might exaggerate it some, but it almost really helps you walk forward if you're just walking. It's like these things are kind of designed for walking forward. Comfort maybe a little bit secondary, but I don't know how I'd feel about them, you know, distance hiking like Appalachian Trail. I think I'd rather have the Ultras. But in the northern sections of the Appalachian Trail, where you start to get into the rocks, the rocks, the real serious rocks, I think you might want to be wearing the North Face type hiking boots, or these Terex wouldn't be bad, but I haven't worn them long enough to tell you how they do multiple, 12-hour days of walking. I wore them at work for a couple 12-hour shifts. They're pretty good. I'd alternate, wear one pair one day and then North Face the next day. And that way I let them dry out, so they're not just constantly wet with sweat or whatever. And it keeps them fresher longer. Alright, we'll be back at the parking lot now. And somebody brought in a bus. I guess that's maybe the kayak bus. Yeah, that's pretty cool. They got a bus to bring people around. Outdoor Augusta. Kayak, paddleboard, canoe, and Riverside. Hey, how's it going, man? Just out here doing a YouTube video.
Sick.
Yeah.
We just got done cooking a bunch of food on the back of this thing.
Oh, serious? Cool.
When summer hits, we take all this stuff down, and these bars turn into a kayak rack, and we can load kayaks and stuff on them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking that was. I didn't have any idea that it was like...
I just built this year.
Oh, you built it?
That's our chicken shack. We rent kayaks out of there, but on the front of it, we got a little building we cook food in.
Okay.
I just put this together this year, and we just took it for the first time.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kevin.
Cool, man. Andy.
Andy, nice to meet you. Yeah, I live right out the road, and I started a YouTube channel first of this year.
Cool.
And I was working the hurricane debris cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
I started working it like in October, and just 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, outside.
Yeah.
And I kind of quit doing that maybe 2-3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
I work from home remotely still, but being outside that much that often, I kind of want to still get back out.
Good for you.
You know, it is. It's really, it's good for you.
Shares of Apple are higher today after the tech giant reported revenue rose 4% in its fiscal first quarter. The company, however, did miss Wall Street's iPhone sales expectations and saw sales in China decline about 11%. Apple's services division, which includes subscriptions, reported $23 billion in revenue, a 14% jump from the same period last year. The miss on iPhone sales was the biggest miss for the company in 2 years. Shares of Intel are lower after the chipmaker issued first quarter guidance that missed analyst expectations. The company did, however, beat on both the top and bottom lines for the fourth quarter. Revenue declined for a third straight quarter, decreasing 7% year over year. This is the company's first report since Pat Gelsinger left as CEO. The company appointed 2 interim CEOs while it looks for a new leader. TikTok has nearly bounced back to its original traffic levels after usage fell 85% when the app briefly shut down earlier this month. This according to new data from Cloudflare Radar, which shows traffic is currently about 10% lower than pre-shutdown levels. The future of the app is currently in limbo as President Trump extended the ban law deadline by 75 days to April 5th. That's all for today. We'll see you back here next week.
This Tech Check briefing is sponsored by Comcast Business. Advanced connectivity and intelligence of global secure networking, helping businesses of all sizes transform, grow, and thrive. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. From DW News Brief at 2 a.m. today.
This is DW News, and these are our top stories. The U.S. has imposed tariffs on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China that will come into force on Tuesday. Rates have been set at 25% on Mexican and Canadian goods and 10% on Chinese. Mexico and Canada's leaders have both announced retaliatory measures. Kyiv and Moscow have traded blame for an attack on a school in a Ukrainian-occupied town in Russia's Kursk region on Saturday. President Zelensky shared this footage of the aftermath, saying 4 civilians sheltering there had been killed. The Russian Defense Ministry accused Kyiv of targeting the building with a missile strike. A 7th person has been confirmed dead after a plane crashed in a busy area of the U.S. city of Philadelphia. All 6 people aboard the air ambulance and at least 1 person on the ground were killed. Investigators have said the crash was an accident and are looking into the cause. This is DW News from Berlin. There's a lot more news on our website, dw.com.
That's it for your news update. For more stories, open Google News.
Gratitude. We're going to document the internet eventual UFO hypothesis.
You're having too much fun. Gonna fart.
You've been such a good boy. Good
Grateful for what we have.
Oh, yeah.
things that upset you with gratitude. With thankfulness. With appreciation. Love your enemies. Love them. Because their enemies make us stronger. Without them, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're gonna lay in bed. We're gonna do nothing.
Don't jerk off alone.
We're gonna do nothing.
Watch her come on
if we had no enemies. We're not gonna create art. We're not gonna create anything of value if we had no enemies. We need to love our enemies more than our friends. Learn to love your enemies and hate your friends is what Nietzsche said. I think everyone needs to read Thus Spake Zarathustra. I think that's Nietzsche's best work. I've read it 3 or 4 times, and I've listened to it on audiobook even more times than that, and I still enjoy listening to it. It still speaks to me. I understand more now about it than I did the first time that I read it. When the first time you read